to the Nerdverse.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the NERDVERSE Podcast, where we are back in the wide multiverse of all things comics, cinema, pop culture, and all things nerdy. We are your hosts. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Josh.
And popping in just like our old boy Big Blue, just like our old pal Superman.
And speaking about Superman, what a movie.
Oh man, incredible. We have so much to talk about on this week's episode. Our set a little bit different, our energy's a little bit high. We see we've made some additions.
We made some additions.
Our set is a little bit different.
We got to give some props to
Carlos.
To
Carlos at Best Quality Designs and Prints.
Thank you for making us this amazing sign. It really brings the set together, I think.
It really does bring the set together. It's our Nerdverse is forming.
Yeah,
all right.
Exactly.
It's coming to fruition.
Convergence.
No, not at all. Not at all.
We want to talk
Man,
about that.
I can't say enough about this movie. We have to get into it. So we saw it once already. We saw it together.
Yes.
We saw opening night at the premiere.
Right.
Let's just talk about the atmosphere going into it. You know, we had talked about in last week's episode the expectations of what we had and being a victim of our own expectations going into a movie. I know we had a little things that were a little bit sour, you know, from phase 4, phase 5 of the MCU and everything that had predated basically in the DCEU.
A little bit, yeah.
And there was expectations. I know you had expectations for this movie that were very, very big. I had expectations that were very big.
Tried to temper my expectations a little bit, especially when it comes to a character like Superman, where he's not like a top 3. I don't even know if he's a top 5 for me. So for me to go into this movie, I was like, I really hope that it's as good as I want it to be. And my God, did it not only meet the expectations, it exceeded them. James Gunn created a masterclass Superman story. We're here. It has begun. The DCU has officially kicked off.
You know, this was his first cinematic project.
Right.
And we had already Creature Commandos, which was
A banger.
Absolute banger. We had Peacemaker season 1, which you can speak a little bit more on.
Right, yeah.
And banger.
It was a banger. I couldn't really see him too much, but it was a banger.
And we had Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle's part of the DCU? No.
It's kind of
Loosely.
like, it's loosely a great point. It's kind of like how Margot Robbie is with the Suicide Squad.
Right. And we have those two projects were the first big ones. And then Superman was the first cinematic project.
Right.
So we're fully now in.
Yeah.
We're in it. What did you think? I mean, let's just, just to give a little backstory as to how our experience was when we went to go see this film. First of all, our movie theater was absolutely jumping. I mean, the energy was at an all-time high. People cosplaying absolutely everywhere. We had people dressed to the nines in like...
Oh, it looked like Florida SuperCon.
It looked like
insane.
Florida SuperCon. Shout out to Florida SuperCon. And there's something to be said about when you have so many people that are in the same area gathered for a same common cause. And to have had everybody in that theater knew why everyone was there.
Right.
And it was for that film.
I
Crazy.
don't think I felt an atmosphere like that inside of a movie since Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, where everybody just was like, holy crap.
Big
We're
shoes to
all
fill.
here for the same thing. It really bring this Nerdverse together. And I think that is an awesome thing when you go to the movies and you see that happening in front of you.
That's why we go.
Yeah,
That's why we go. That's
why we love this.
That's why we indulge, and that's why we have this. This is why people love sports. This is why we love sports. This is why we love our books. To be able to get away, right? And to be able to get and have an experience that is to take us away from the reality in the world for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, you spoke a little bit about it in last week's episode, that the world can be a dark place.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of weight and darkness and heaviness sometimes in people's lives
Right.
and the things that go through, because life is just life and the world sucks sometimes.
Yeah.
Not in the Nerdverse.
Not in the Nerdverse.
Not in the Nerdverse. So,
It's all bright and colorful in the Nerdverse, at least for now, until
and
the Clayface
speaking
movie
of
drops.
bright and colorful, dude, we had how many years worth of the DCEU with Zack Snyder, where we're basically sitting there squinting our eyes to see what is going on.
Yeah, since about I believe that Man of Steel came out in 2013.
Yeah.
And we
12 years.
we completed the DCEU in 2022 with Aquaman.
With Aquaman,
The
and it was
Lost
that last slate of movies between
It was rough.
Blue Beetle, Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom, Shazam, Fury of the Gods, and The Flash.
Out of all those movies, how crazy it to say, and you know, if you feel differently, feel free to comment, but how crazy is it to say, out of all those movies, Aquaman, Shazam, The Flash, the best movie in that slate was Blue Beetle. How is that possible?
I mean,
It's insane to me.
they really fumbled, but
They really did.
the past is the past.
Right.
We're here now. We went to go see it. We saw it. Our theater was rocking. Even in the actual theater itself, we had people standing up prior to the previews trying to give Superman trivia, talking about how the creation and the inception of it and Action Comics #1 in 1939, whatever the case is, all of that. It just, everybody was so excited. And like you said, we had no affinity to, us personally, had no affinity to Superman. And here we are now.
Yeah.
S is on our chest. And
Loud and proud.
Loud and proud. And holy shit, I couldn't have been more happy.
Yeah.
I mean, once the movie finished, you were ecstatic to get into it.
Yeah, well, I think we need to give them a little bit of backstory in the sense that you are very different from me when it comes to watching movies. When it comes to watching movies, you're very much a stoic. You want to sit there and, you know, basically stew with it, like Dr. Manhattan sitting on Mars.
Yeah.
And just, I'm like, I'm not going to lie. I'm like, I'm an annoying fucking gnat. All I want to do is just like, oh my God, did you see that? I just want to talk my
Flying
ass
around
off.
like how you just flew in.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, what were you doing?
That was,
Why were you almost late?
I was almost late.
Yeah.
You know, I was riding Lois in the sky like a simp. like David Cornsweat, Superman.
And first of all, I think that's a great place to get into it. You know, we spoke about how you were excited and I needed to brew over. And I think where it comes from personally with me is having to sit there and take in, it takes about 1 to 2 viewing, maybe 3 sometimes, to really get a full grasp of the movie. To really like home in on your expectations. And to have had so much expectations and so many things that came on and this wave of emotion, it felt like you were on a roller coaster ride, first of all.
Right.
Movie looked fantastic, like shot wise.
It did. It looked like almost like a splash page from a comic book. There were so many scenes in that movie where it's like, I could swear I've seen that before.
Yeah. Yeah. You spoke about Endgame earlier. And I think Endgame, maybe some stuff in like Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
Maybe some projects in the MCU as of lately.
Yeah.
But we've definitely turned a corner in the superhero genre of cinematic movies and shows where it's movies based about superheroes or movies based about comic books.
Yeah.
However, this movie felt like a comic book movie. This was a movie not about comic book heroes. This was a comic book on a movie.
Well, I think to jump in on that, I definitely think it's refreshing to see that they're not shying away anymore from comic accurate costumes. I remember, you showed me the X-Men back then in the day, and I'm like, where's the bright yellow and blue? It was always a black costume with an X on it. Whack. And then now you're starting to see comic accuracy everywhere. No one's shying away from the bright colors. No one's shying away from the bombastic themes. And I think that makes the superhero genre better.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we were definitely past that point of...
We need it to be so
realistic. We need to make it realistic. Like, how can we make the fantastical adaptations of what we read on these comic books or what we have read through these comic books, but how can we make it more real?
Yeah.
Iron Man, like all of these things. Iron Man looks great.
Yeah.
Captain America looks great. Thor looks great. But in particular to the X-Men, there was something about... I think we even have it like that giant size X-Men, like
Yeah.
the bright yellow suit of Wolverine. It took him from what, like 1999 when the first X-Men Fox movie came out, all the way till 2024 was
Right.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
To finally get a yellow suit.
Yeah.
Like, we're here, man. We're here. And the trunks, the way that the suit looks, having the S on the back of the cape, it just couldn't have
What a
looked
statement from James Gunn and David Cornswell, because I heard that it was a collaborative,
approach
about the trunks. What a choice, because
Man,
not a lot of people would have done it. I don't think that we've seen Superman in trunks since
Brandon Routh.
since Brandon Routh, which
Yeah.
was Superman Returns,
In
correct?
2009. Yeah, in 2009. And it works.
It works. It really
man.
does.
So I think our expectations were obviously met.
Yeah.
And and if we're going to gripe about something like this, and yeah, maybe it's a little bit of bias and we're still riding this high of the DC is back. Like
Yeah.
DC feels like it is back. It is coming. It is in full force. If we're going to get into it, if I was to ask you personally, what is the one thing about that movie that you feel like that was what I locked in on? Like that was your favorite part of that movie? Spoilers everywhere. First of all,
Spoilers everywhere,
We're gonna have
yeah.
spoilers everywhere at this point. If you haven't seen it,
Yeah.
go.
basically,
Go.
yeah.
Go. This is a movie that I would be willing to pay $50 a ticket to go and see.
Which is not an exaggeration, because movie tickets are about $50.
$50 now.
it's
Yeah. The popcorn bucket situation. Like, holy fucking shit. dude.
$80 for a popcorn
80
bucket.
fucking dollars. First of all, when did it become a trend? Like,
Yeah.
when did that actually start becoming a trend, like regarding the popcorn bucket?
I remember the cups. I remember like the souvenir cups. We had like 7,500 cups, and our poor mother, our poor mother, we made her buy every cup under the sun.
The cups were understandable
Yeah.
because there were cups. Like, you could
Yeah.
reuse the cups. First, nobody's fucking remaking
Popcorn.
I mean, I don't know. But like, nobody's really making fucking popcorn again.
Yeah.
And like, I'm going to use my $85, 12-inch
helmet.
Galactus helmet. Like that. First of all, that was insane.
Yeah.
We'll drop a picture inside if
I
we
really,
can.
I really wanted to like put it on.
Right. But it's definitely an investment.
Yeah.
It's definitely an investment that I think it's an investment of time, and it's an investment of obviously money. And I think that it couldn't have been a better experience and a great return on your investment for something. If you're a member of this whole thing.
I think that, to go back to your question about my favorite part of Superman and what did I lock in on, kind of how we talked about before, I think that David Cornsweet as Superman is Superman inside the cape and outside the cape. I think that the trunk approach, I think that the bright colors, everything, it makes you feel like, you know what, like, that's my kid's favorite superhero too. That's Abuela's favorite superhero. Like, everyone loves Superman. Oh, he's such a good boy. Like, everyone is going to love Superman. And David Cornsweet as an actor with this role, I've seen the Christopher Reeves movie, maybe once or twice, and I was just watching and I was like, wow, like, really does feel
That
like
is the
Christopher
gold
Reeves.
standard of Superman. I
Yeah.
mean, that is really the gold standard. Especially Superman 2.
Yeah.
And Superman, like the movie.
Yeah.
And he had a few other ones. His dad, George Reeves, was even Superman. Man, I mean, it's going to be hard for anybody to debate now if David's not up there.
Yeah.
And sure, there's longevity with the Reeves family, especially
Yeah.
Christopher Reeves. There's longevity with that.
And there's no hate at all towards Henry Cavill. I think that Henry Cavill was an amazing Superman for his time and
Right.
for what Zack Snyder wanted to do.
Even with the CGI'd lip? Even with the CGI'd lip?
Stop.
It was okay, he was filming Mission Impossible.
Filming Mission
At that
Impossible,
point.
which he looked great in Mission Impossible. Banger role. Yeah, he looked
Not
great.
as good as mine.
Yeah.
Not as good as mine.
Okay. All right.
But definitely, it's. I think if we're gonna rank the Supermen, like cinematic adaptations of
Yeah.
it, it's gonna be hard right now,
It is. It's
especially
pretty
right
hard.
now, to not say David is right up there. I mean, the acting from everybody.
Yeah.
The acting was fantastic. I think the writing was fantastic. All credit to James and Peter Safran, but really James. James wrote this film. We remember when he announced it as Superman Legacy.
Yeah.
In his promotional video for chapter 1, the Gods and Monsters phase of the DCU. We had, he not only wrote it, he directed it, he produced it. Like, he had his finger on the pulse of this movie.
Always.
And you can feel that with every single thing. Crypto, especially. Yeah. Like, Crypto, if there's any, like we said, if there was going to be any person that can make animals or inanimate objects feel like they have heart and soul, it's going to be Gunn.
Also, I read somewhere something crazy about, like, people were leaving Superman and were like going to dog adoption agencies, and it like boosted up the rates for dog adoptions.
Like, that's
and everything.
Crazy, bro. Like, that is a Superman-ass fucking move.
I was watching Crypto and I was like, yo, like, it's just like my annoying ass dog, man. It's just exactly like my dog. Like,
James Gunn said that he inspired the idea of Crypto. Not the idea of Crypto, but
by his terrible ass dog, because he said his dog was terrible.
Like, the image and the ear and all of that was based off of his own personal dog. So I mean, again, nailed it. Absolutely nailed it.
Yeah. Which I think it goes to say, like, this was Gunn. I mean, I don't know if you're talking about like Scooby-Doo and whatever, but this was Gunn's first huge character project. He did Suicide Squad, which I guess, Harley Quinn a little bit.
No, but that even then, like, who was the members of the Suicide Squad that he put? Javelin and
the Polka Dot Man,
Ratcatcher 2, Bloodsport.
We didn't even get We didn't even get Deadshot. We got
Bloodsport. King Shark.
Yeah.
Rick Flag. Dude, all like random ass characters.
And then the same thing with Guardians. Before, obviously, they became well known now to us.
No, it's because of James Gunn that Guardians of the Galaxy are who they are today, and that they have a ride in Disney, and that kids think that Peter Quill is their favorite superhero. Why people love Rocket, because of Groot, for example. Like, it's because of him. Yeah, it's because of him and the way he took those characters. Yeah. So to your point, this is really his big, like, entrusted project, like, with a character. I never thought of it that way.
Who's better, though? It's just a real question. Who's better, Baby Groot or Baby Joey?
It's got to be Baby Groot. It's got to be Baby Groot. I mean, Baby Joey was like that. Is that going to be Brainiac?
I really do think that it's going to be I mean, why? Like, it does make a lot of sense.
I mean, for anybody that is hearing this, or may have not seen it, like what the fuck is Baby Joey? Is that kangaroo in that movie? So basically, Metamorpho, which incredible, incredible, baby. Metamorpho. First of all, I never thought in a million years of. I don't know why. And I'm sure it had to have been inspired from something that he took it. But the idea of using Metamorpho, like this metahuman that is able to manipulate his body with different elements. He's called the Element Man. I mean, that's how he was originally called, was the Element Man. And to be able to have different elements of the earth and just different things, and by bonding, he's like a leg full of mud and another one of rock and another one of this, and to manipulate parts of his body to make a new element. Dude, he made fucking kryptonite. It's not like a rock in the sea, or having to go into Krypton or find a sliver. Like, what a genius fucking idea. And that's all a credit to how he wrote Lex Luthor. Like, what a difference of Lex Luthor from the Jesse Eisenberg Lex Luthor to how we are now.
It's crazy. Jesse Eisenberg had his moments. For example, I think that something I still think about to this day is Jesse Eisenberg talking about the painting, talking about the painting of the devils don't come from hell beneath us, they come from the sky. Oh, that, that's one of the low points. That's one of the low points.
It's cherry. Putting a fucking Jolly Rancher in another grown man's ass mouth. Like, I'm scared of you, dog.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you're creepy. Exactly. You're creepy. You're freaking me out, lady.
Yeah. Bad Lex.
Lady, you're scaring us.
But like his monologue, especially with Superman, the day versus night, the son of Krypton versus the bat of Gotham. He had his moments of that's really dumb. Like, and that's just a credit to Zack Snyder's writing, because I like Zack Snyder's way of writing. I like his his approach to things. However, Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor was like a Bond villain. Like, you just are watching him and you're like, why? Like, you're such a bitch.
Right. Like, he fucking shot someone. He killed someone
for giving Superman falafel.
He fucking killed someone right in front of Superman's eyes when Superman couldn't do anything. Like that's how you establish dominance over yourself. Like that is how, like, just to break it down. We understand that Superman is this like almighty entity, right? Like he barely doesn't have any flaws. Like, and that's part of the reason why you and I personally have never had an affinity to this character, is because we like characters that are flawed and have weaknesses.
We like characters with trauma.
With trauma. And he made Superman feel weak, small, and disposable in this film. And it was really because of how Lex Luthor seemed to have.
He just had the answer for everything. It was almost every single card you throw down, I already know it.
Right. And that's how you get your 1-up.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you write a good villain. That's why he felt right. Like, it was like, holy shit. Like, Superman will do anything at any moment to save anybody from anything.
Exactly.
And
he saved a fucking squirrel.
Dude.
He saved a squirrel.
A fucking squirrel. You know what Batman would have done? Yeah. Fucking squished it. But just to see how he used Metamorpho to make Kryptonite, but he's holding Metamorpho hostage with Metamorpho's son, Baby Joey.
Yeah.
What we were talking about. And so it's just like another stack on top of the pile of like how the lengths he's willing to go to get to Superman. Yeah. It's not, it doesn't seem like it's like an operational plan to get metahumans out. It seems like this is all based around wanting to take out Superman.
Yeah.
You saw that scene where he had like this glass chamber of all these metahumans.
And ex-girlfriends.
Yeah.
Don't date Lex Luthor.
No. Lex Luthor will fuck your world.
However, date Jimmy Olsen.
Jimmy Olsen is back. He's here, and he's here to riz and sauce your chick up. You better hide your wife. You better hide your girl, because Jimmy Olsen's here. And Jimmy Olsen doesn't even work for it, dog.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't even work for it. I mean, incredible. And we have so much to get into regarding that. But we're speaking about Lex. The idea how he tortured this guy in front of Superman, knowing Superman can't stop him.
Yeah.
And could he have killed this guy anywhere else?
Of course.
Sure.
Yeah.
But he wanted to do it in front of him.
Yeah.
He wanted to fucking kill this guy in front of Superman, regardless if it was intentional or not, because it was like the roulette thing. But that's what he did. And Superman couldn't do anything to fucking stop it.
What I think is just so interesting is like, it's hard when you have characters like Batman and the Joker. They're both human. You have characters like Green Lantern, Sinestro, both aliens. But you have a character like Superman, who is the all-powerful, the almighty, versus Lex Luthor, who is a man. He's just a man who is just brilliant and just happens to know how to get every single thing he wants in any way.
Right. And that, like, using the whole Hammer of Baravia, the whole war.
Russian nesting doll, Hammer of Baravia.
Yeah, like a Russian nesting. It was a Hammer of Baravia who is actually just Ultraman, who is actually just a fucking clone of Superman. Which worked. I think it worked.
Yeah.
I think it worked. And that whole idea that...
It worked for toys for sure.
Oh, the fucking Mattel or whatever the toy company is. Y'all better be making your fucking money right now. You all better be making your money, because... That's how you sell.
Yeah.
That's how you sell. I remember our mom doing anytime
unthinkable things.
Horrible things. The idea of a toy being like having an alternate head, and it's the same body, just to sell.
Mom, I just want it.
Yeah, I don't really need the figure. I just want the head, or I just want that, like, build a piece. And the lengths that she would go to simply just get into the store, get the figure, pay the amount of money it is for the figure, and then perform surgery in the car parking lot and not even go home. Open it, take out the little piece, and then statute of limitations. This was only a Toys R Us kind of thing. Yeah. Statute of limitations are out here. It's gone. Sorry, Jeffrey. Shout out to Toys R Us, to Jeffrey the giraffe. And then have her not only just take the piece out, but
factory reseal it too.
Basically, factory reseal it. Basically, factory reseal it and then return it and
take it back to the same exact attendant and be like, I don't know, it was missing.
Oh no, He didn't want it.
Yeah.
they didn't want it
The
anymore.
poor 17-year-old person that was working there was like, I just want to do my job.
Lady, I'm just here so I can.
Yeah.
I'm just here making minimum wage. But the idea of Lex again, and I know that you spoke just briefly because we held all our thoughts.
Really did,
for the
yeah.
pod. We really tried not to speak too much about it because we wanted to speak about the pod,
Which was hard.
But yeah, very hard. That's a change. that's a change that we're willing to make. We're willing to make it for you, for the Nerdverse, to give you guys raw, unfiltered opinions and thoughts. That's because we're not here to take part. We're here to take over. Anyway, send it. Send it. But having all of that being said, I know you did really talk about a lot the relationship between Superman and Lex.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna do you one.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say that the relationship between Lois and Clark, or Lois and Superman, really, because and if there was gonna be any flaw of this movie, like I said, I think these films are worthy of 2 to 3 viewings.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be all like instantly back to back, but I think
right away.
you have to see these type of films because we get such an abundance, and our genre is so saturated with projects that it takes maybe 1 to 2 to 3 things to kind of find the difference in each project or find something about it. I think the relationship between Lois and Superman, because the one flaw I would say, not enough Clark Kent. We saw maybe an opening scene like that first. The trailers all were basically the first act of the movie.
Yeah, it's insane.
We had no idea anything about the pocket dimension. We didn't have anything to know about the fucking twist on Jor-El. And
what a twist.
What a twist. What a twist. That whole relationship between Lois and Superman, that like 12-minute opening scene that we had.
Which was their interview, essentially. Was their like job audition.
Yeah, their audition to their table read, like their casting call. Dude, the relationship, the dynamic, Lois feeling like, I don't. She said something along the lines of, I'm not made for relationships.
Yeah.
And it hurt him. Like it hurt Clark. And I love the fact that Superman's dialogue at the end, or his monologue actually, at the end of the film was him talking about like, I'm as human as anybody.
Yeah.
Like I have feelings. I hurt. I cry. Like I feel pain.
Yeah. That's what makes me me.
Yeah. Like I'm no different of a human than you are.
Right.
Lex. And
then Lex
we
gets
saw that
absolutely
part.
fucking destroyed.
And then he got fucking destroyed.
He gets Hulk.
Hulk
literally.
and Loki, yeah. And to see how the relationship, the dynamic of Lois and Superman was beautiful to me. I mean, that was one thing I was very, very anticipating to see how it was going to work. Yeah. Because we've seen how the character of Superman / Clark have interacted with Lois's throughout media. Yeah. And we've seen it on in the CW shows. We've seen it with Christopher Reeve. We've seen it with Cavill and Amy Adams. But this one felt different. This one felt real. This one felt grounded. I needed to see something like that. Yeah. And in a time where love and maybe not feeling like it's believable and it's not achievable to some people, and people giving up on the idea of love because things are getting too complicated, or they don't understand, or maybe I'm just not meant for love. Having that moment and seeing and feeling how Lois just was willing to do anything for him.
She went into a pocket dimension for him.
What girl's gonna do that? Yeah. What girl's gonna? Get yourself a girl that'll walk into a fucking pocket dimension for you.
With a guy she just met, by the way.
Right. Yeah. Men, don't settle for less.
Exactly.
Get yourself a Lois.
Get yourself a Lois.
But man, I loved their back and forth. Yeah. We start off the movie with them knowing that, or she knowing that he's Clark, or Clark is Superman. And man, I was just taken, like entranced by that, like especially that last scene of the movie where I can't remember the verbiage, but it's basically the end of the movie where
where he asks her like, "Oh, like would you like an interview, Lois?"
after everything, right?
And then the spin.
Oh,
It's just beautiful cinematography all around. I think that again, it feels like it was ripped straight from All-Star Superman.
like a fucking comic. Like we've seen images before the past of Superman, like taking Lois up in the sky, and like in space sometimes, looking down and like being among the stars.
Yeah.
That's what
Just acts of love, acts of service, and things like that. And I think that when it came to the Lois and Clark relationship, it wasn't all about, public displays of affection. Obviously, and it wasn't about like showing so much love and saying "I love you." It was the actions that you did showed that. Like even just Superman watching what looked like Starro outside getting absolutely just murked.
star.
Yeah, absolutely murked by Green Lantern, which we're gonna get into Green Lantern.
Oh yeah.
And Superman being like, "No, they got that. We're in the middle of a conversation. Let's finish it. Like let's take the time and finish it."
Yeah.
And it's like that's stuff that real people deal with all the time. Of we need to make time to handle the things that are priorities to us.
And did it in such a short but yet effective way.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like in that last scene, like little kids, like they know they're not supposed to be together, but like, I'll give you your interview, and then they like run across, and then they just like the moment they see the coast is clear, is like they just go up and they start like kissing. Dude, beautiful. The score is amazing. The score. Not only am I constantly working out to that fucking score, I'm listening to it everything I'm doing because it's like an inspirational fucking score.
Trying to get fit like superheroes.
There were so many fucking stills in this movie that you can use and put on a fucking poster, like him rising from the ashes, and he's just there, and the fucking like, boom, like the climax of the song, amazing. We've spoken a little bit about Clark and Superman. We'll get into the parents' situation because I think that's incredible. But the Justice Gang, holy shit, Justice Gang, not the Justice League.
No.
But the Justice Gang. And a gang of 3 people.
Yeah.
I mean, we see the Easter eggs of the Hall of Justice first of all, we have a Hall of Justice.
We have a Hall of Justice. And if you do look very closely, you see, holy crap, like, is that Jay Garrick? Is that all these different characters? And you're like, whoa, like
Wildcat. And all of them. That's and that, because the opening of the movie said,
very like Star Wars-esque.
Like the wall, like the title crawl. Like in 300 years ago, metahumans introduced themselves to the world as like superheroes, basically, but they're called metahumans. 30 years ago, a boy came from Krypton and crash landed on a farm in Kansas. 3 years ago, that boy introduced himself to the world as Superman, the greatest metahuman of all time. 3 months ago, there was a war that started in Baravia and Jaunapur or whatever it's called, which I know people are saying that that's a commentary on like what's going on in Russia and Ukraine and stuff. Not here. Not here. Politics are left out the door. Not in our nerdverse. Not in our nerdverse. Not up in here! And it was like 3 months ago the war started, and we're loosely saying it because again we need to view it another time.
But then it was like 3 minutes ago, Superman just lost his first battle.
Yeah. 3 weeks ago the hammer of Baravia showed up, and 3 minutes ago Superman just lost his first fight.
I was watching that and I was like, holy shit. I was like, I sat up in my chair. I was like, it's time.
Dude, we start off the movie with fucking basically the first like 10 minutes of the movie. Lex gets into the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah.
Like Lex spends years or stories worth, or like anthologies worth,
trying to find out where it is.
Movie series to find out where the fuck it is, and he's just waltzing the fuck right in there.
Yeah.
Crypto's fucking right by his face. The engineer's causing shit, all this stuff, and he's just walking. What a G! What a G! What a G! But the Justice Gang, Mr. Terrific, Hawk Girl, Guy Gardner. What'd you think?
I said it in the first episode, so nobody can say anything different. Guy Gardner's Green Lantern was the guy.
Yeah.
No pun intended on that, but like...
Guy. Flicked off people.
And just... everything I wanted from Guy Gardner. Maybe he wasn't as much as like a dick that I thought he would be. And, you know, I'm pretty sure that Peacemaker season 2, because we know that he's going to be in that. I think that will be an opportunity for him to kind of show his more like rated R side. But in this movie, just seeing him and Superman and it being this such a huge contrast of Superman like, I want to save the kaiju, or let's put it down humanely. And Guy Gardner's like, no.
Mr. Terrific throws a ball, like one of the T-balls inside of him, and it fucking explodes.
Yeah. I think that Guy Gardner was just...
Is that the best version of like, forget animation, but like TV and cinematic, is that the best version of Green Lantern's powers in that? Because the constructs, though we saw a little bit of it in some of the aspects of the film, but it looked good. Like from, you know, like there's a lot going on when Guy Gardner and the Justice Gang are around in that film. But is that the best version of Green Lantern's powers that we've seen?
I have seen some critiques online about, you know, the constructs about, you know, oh, but it didn't come from the ring. It kind of like came from outside the ring and stuff like that. And, you know, those are like gripes. Me personally, I think that this version of Green Lantern and all of that, I will take that over Ryan Reynolds' version of Green Lantern anytime, any day, any place. Don't come for me. I will stand.
Hater.
You are a hater.
I would too.
Yeah, no,
I would too. I would too.
It's nothing like.
Yeah. I just a little bit on Guy Gardner. He looks like Guy Gardner, not as asshole-ish as I thought probably he was going to be, especially with Nathan Fillion and James Gunn.
Yeah.
You know that they can get a little wild.
Yeah.
But I think maybe they tempered that down a little bit.
Just because it's
because of the Superman movie, and maybe it's because of his introduction. But
yeah.
Peacemaker season 2 is going to be Peacemaker.
Yeah.
First of all, so we can highly expect, you know, whatever it's going to be, whether it's language or how he acts. But the Lantern series is officially wrapped.
Language.
So you got Ascension. Lantern's officially wrapped. Apparently it's going to be insane, incredible, cinematic adventure. Even though it's a TV series, it's going to be on HBO Max.
Yeah. Which has, you know, gone through 20 different name changes.
Yeah, I don't even know what it is. To me, it's HBO fucking Max.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just going to leave it as HBO Max. But I think we're going to see a lot more of Guy Gardner. It doesn't seem like Guy Gardner's going to go anywhere anytime soon. And I don't think that he's
And I don't want him to.
And I don't want him to. And I don't want him to take a backseat to John and Hal in the new Lantern series. What about Hawk Girl? Probably the least exposed that we got.
Isabella Merced, I think, did a great job of Hawk Girl. You know, she didn't have a lot of time. She kind of...
She looked damn good.
She did.
She did.
She did look good.
Hey, how you doing,
But-
mama? Let me whisper in your ear.
But I think that, you know, the one scene that I was like, oh, okay, that's really cool, was her flying over and it being like, oh, like, you're not going to drop me like Superman. Oh, I'm not Superman. Well, I'm just dropping. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, damn. I wasn't familiar with your game.
Bitch.
Yeah, I wasn't familiar with your game.
I thought at least she was going to come at the last second if I can say, no.
And then as much as I think that Guy Gardner as Green Lantern was amazing, we got to talk about the best member of the Justice Gang, and that is Eddie Gathegi's Mr. Terrific.
And this is in the same fucking vein as the Guardians. People that don't know a lot about them, little to no exposure in mass media, and Eddie Gathegi as Mr. Terrific has to probably be. I'm going to go on record and say it now.
Is this not? Can we get a hot take button? Can we get like hot take?
It's got to be up there with one of the best performances from an actor adapting a character and put on a media. I think, you know, everybody talks about the Batmans, the Supermans, the Spideys.
Yeah.
Even that. Nobody knows about Mr. Terrific. So first of all, the fact that this was the introduction, like you were able to get a good dose of who this guy is. But when you realize that this guy is uber intelligent, won the gold medal in the decathlon, 14 PhDs, one of the smartest people in the universe, and stoic, never flustered, you know, and just always has an answer for something, has always thought of it. And then we saw we got all that introduction inside of his performance, but we did see a situation that got him frazzled also. So
Yeah.
it gave him depth. Like, oh shit, maybe this is big enough that even Mr. Terrific can't even figure out. Regardless of that case, Eddie Gathegi is Mr. Terrific. I think besides the main three of Superman, Lex, and Lois, I think Eddie Gathegi and I think Jimmy Olsen were the two guys that were masterclass performances. I love it. I can't wait to see more of this crew.
I did see something online that I thought was absolutely, it was a perfect way to explain it. I had never thought of it before, but that scene of Mr. Terrific flying around and just kicking ass and just being like aura farming and being a badass is very much like the scene with Yondu.
Yes.
Like destroying people. And it was like, you know what? Like that is so accurate. That is so true. A character that's like, he's not the main character. He's a side character, just absolutely destroying people. And you're like, damn, like I kind of want to see you as the main character though. I want to know what you got.
If there's not a Mr. Terrific spinoff series, they're really missing the mark on that. Like and I'm more than sure that Gunn has plans for Mr. Terrific.
Oh, 100%.
And like we said, and one of the most things that we had personally got excited about when he announced that he was taking over was the interconnectivity and continuation of the castings that he's putting forward in each of his projects.
Even in animation.
If you are like David Harbour as Frankenstein in Creature Commandos, not only are you going to be the voice of him in the cartoon, but you will be the voice and the motion capture guy on anime. In video games, you will be Frankenstein in your movies. And if you pop up into a live action TV series, like for example, the Creature Command, like Lex Luthor's going to Belle Reve.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the end of the fucking Creature Commandos was them in Belle Reve.
Belle Reve, yeah.
So are we to believe that he's amongst more monsters now at this point? The possibilities are endless. Do you like what are your last thoughts about this movie? Your experience and what your hopes are going forward?
I think that when it comes to this movie particularly, my last thoughts would be that David Cornsweet is our guy moving forward as the epicenter of this DC universe. We don't even know where it's going to go. We have thoughts. You and me have spoken about it. You know, there's some comics on the right here that we think might lead to what it's going to be, or maybe some other comics that are going to be adapted. But I think when it comes to David Cornsweet's performance, Nicholas Holt's performance, Rachel Bronson's performance, masterclass. James Gunn hit it on all the marks. It felt like a Superman movie. It didn't feel woke. It didn't feel like it was too crowded, which was my biggest fear, was that it was going to feel too crowded.
Yeah.
I think that
He nailed it.
I walked in feeling, wow, this might be an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. And you always critique me for it, but I think this movie,
every fucking movie after he finishes seeing it is a 10 out of 10.
I don't think that this is a 10 out of 10. I think that I would put it as a 9.5 out of 10 and give it some wiggle room. And it really is. It's a masterclass movie. And what a way to start off your DC universe.
Right. Yeah. And I totally agree. I couldn't be more excited. I'm super, super amped. I'm super, super stoked for it. That I need to see more of the relationship between Clark and Lois. I think what's going to happen with Lex, the rest of the Justice Gang, couldn't be more excited for it. We're here and we couldn't be more excited for what's to come. We have a few more projects that are coming, which is we got Lanterns coming, Supergirl.
Millie, I don't want to butcher Alcock. I don't want to butcher
something like that. Yeah.
Supergirl looked incredible, and just seeing that 30 seconds and knowing what's about to happen and what comic book they're adapting, the Woman of Tomorrow story, just
she's a fucking mess. She's a fucking mess. She's a mess. That Superman's got a fucked up family, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we're really getting to that idea that he's a fucked up family with Jor-El deciding to that whole theme of, we sent, because he didn't want an origin story. No. Right? James Gunn didn't want to do an origin story, and he decided to say, everybody knows this.
Yeah.
We're not going to make the audience feel dumb that they don't know the origin story of Superman.
We'll sprinkle it in there a little bit.
But we're going to sprinkle in, but we're going to give it a little twist. Yeah. And ultimately, that twist ended up becoming the pinnacle.
Yeah.
And what the whole movie was based on was how the world, but started turning on Superman. The idea that no, we didn't save you to become a beacon of hope for all these people and to live with virtuitous values amongst these people that we've instilled in you as people of Krypton. No, go over there, rule these people, be what you're meant to be, and show who you are to these people. Kill them if you have to, like rule. Basically, like holy shit, Bradley Cooper, like, fucking like that. And that's why that whole entire end of the movie, like that theme of, oh, I want to hear my parents' audio because it puts me at ease.
Well, so that was what I was going to say is our last thing, because, you know, we're getting to the end of our second episode of the Nerdverse. Best moment. What is the moment that you keep on thinking about and you're like, wow, that was just my favorite moment from that movie?
I mean, the Lois and Superman stuff is hard to beat.
Yeah.
It's really hard to beat. That, however, moment, because we didn't see a lot of Ma and Pa Kent at all. We saw that one scene, essentially.
Yeah.
And it was enough for us to make us feel
something,
how important they are to him.
What is it that we always say? That all we want these movies to do is to make us feel something. If you can make me feel something, you have my money.
Yeah.
And this movie made me feel something.
Always. And to have played a twist on the audience and say, that's part of the essence of what Superman is, right?
Yeah.
That he has to balance the values and the love and the connection that he has to his real homeland and his real people and who he actually is, versus the people that he's adopted or have adopted him.
Yeah.
Right. And the fact that it wasn't an edited audio, like the whole idea and the principle for anybody that hasn't seen it was Jor-El's monologue, or Jor-El and his mom's message that he sent with Superman into the ship, was destroyed when the ship was crashed, when Clark crashed into Kansas. And so he only really ever had that audio. So the only sliver of his parents that he had was this audio talking about how much they love him and how great of a human he is and what he can do. But the full audio hadn't been finished. The engineer comes in, ends up tampering with it and giving Lex the full audio, and the full audio is revealed to the world to have been that, like, hey,
Superman's parents are dicks.
Right.
Yeah,
they're
dicks.
fucking assholes, right? They're fucking assholes. And so at the end of the movie, when everything, the dust settles, to have Superman sit back, try to recharge with the sun, and like a fucking bug behind a magnifying glass, like it's like sitting there, and having
play my parents' audio.
He said it. He said the words in his beautiful writing. He's like, "Oh, I want, like, do you want me to play your parents' audio?" I think it was.
It was
Robot
4.
Yeah, Robot 4. I want you to play my parents' audio because it relaxes him. And Superman said, "Yeah." And then he leans back, closes his eyes, and obviously you're expecting the original part audio, but it's all voice, like home video, like old home footage of Ma and Pa Kent,
which was enough for me as an origin story. Seeing especially that clip of Pa Kent holding up baby Clark with the red cape around him. It was just like, what a moment.
Yeah. As a father, I mean, those are the moments that you cherish the most right now, especially when your kids are getting older and you see that Pa has more of an affinity to Clark, it seems, than Ma can.
Yeah.
Like Ma came out and was like, "Oh, you know how he is when Clark comes to town, like he's a big bear and all." And man, it was beautiful to see that.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that was really a way to tie it all home and leave the past behind, and he's embracing his new self, and couple that with the monologue of "I'm as human as anybody," coupled that with how he told, Lois told him at the end of the movie when they're spinning up in the sky, and she says, "I love you too."
Yeah.
And it was like, I got goosebumps right now.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the final boss, baby. The final boss. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
And that's what we're here to do. Last thing that we want to say before we get out, this is just a small message to everybody. The outpour of support that we've received within the first 24 hours has been absolutely not only overwhelming, but very reassuring to us that we're doing what the right. Not it took 10 years and a lot of doubt, like we said, but we're doing it.
And we're not here 50%. We're not here 75%. We're here 150%.
And a lot of effort, a lot of investment, a lot of time has been put into putting out the best products. Highs and lows, especially, but
growing pains and humble beginnings, but with help with people making us signs,
right. We've already been approached for merchandise.
Yeah.
We've already been approached from massive amounts of feedback across, and I think we crossed 100 views on YouTube already, which to a lot of people that may not be a lot, especially when we're dealing with the whole world of content creation and media platforming. But to two brothers that started this as just simply an idea that came forward with saying we can do this, and all of this that we've done and we're putting it out there for everybody, and the feedback that we've gotten has just been nothing but positive. It's been a big our family has been extremely
helpful.
Has been extremely helpful. We've had friends, we've had outside resources already come in and start helping us, and we have a full army behind us. So we're going to take this.
Nerdverse is expanding.
Their Nerdverse is expanding.
Ever-growing Nerdverse.
And as it's expanding, we've expanded ourselves as far as social media and where people can find us. We're officially on X at NERDVERSE Podcast, Instagram at NERDVERSE Podcast, YouTube at NERDVERSE Podcast. We're building a SoundCloud and an Odyssey.
We're on TikTok at wait for it. NERDVERSE Podcast.
NERDVERSE Podcast. You guys can reach out to us on at our email at the NERDVERSE Podcasts with an SPODCASTS. NERDVERSE Podcasts at gmail.com. And we're so grateful for the amount of feedback that we've gotten, and we're here to take it all the way to the top, like we said. So it's been exciting.
Yeah.
All right.
And we'll be back next week.
And we're going to close this episode out with another journey through the Nerdverse. All right. And again, I'm Jordan.
I'm Josh.
And in Gunn,
we trust.
Good night, everybody.